push this. Hey, we are live here with Sydney and Ron. Sydney's here to help me out answering questions, and so she's going to monitor all the questions that come in. And we have been talking the last little bit on our channel about being able to do home financing in all 50 states. So we're going to start there. But if you have any questions at all, go ahead and just type in your questions in the chat box, and Sydney will get to those, and she'll let me know that they're there. So being able to finance homes in any state, it's really kind of a complicated scenario. If you are in the mortgage industry, in order to finance homes in all 50 states, there's two things you have to do. One of two things you have to do. One is you have to work for a federally chartered bank or credit union, and then you have what's called an NMLS number, and that allows you to finance in any state. But if you don't work for one of those institutions, then you have to have individual licenses in each state. So for most of us, whether we're a broker or we work for an institution that's not federally chartered, not only do we have to be federally licensed, but we have to have a license in each state. And so fortunately for me, I'm not a federally chartered institution, but I have people within my team that have licenses in all 50 states, which allows us to help you no matter where you are. So if you're moving from wherever to Utah, or if you're moving from Utah to wherever, we can help you in our team. Within our team, we can help you no matter where you live. So what's nice about that is, so you know me, and hopefully you like me at least a little bit, and hopefully you trust me in your mortgages. So we can knowing and trusting and liking somebody is really important, especially when you're coming to when you're talking about financing something as big as a home. So we're able to help you no matter where you're at. So Sydney, just out of curiosity, do you have any questions coming in yet?
Let's see. So we've got one from Sarah here, and she says, if you can loan anywhere, do you do all the consults on the phone?
Okay, so obviously when we're going from one state to another, we're not gonna have you come into our office, but we sort of can, because what we can do is we can do Zoom calls, and we can either do it on the phone, we can either talk to you via the phone. But what's nice is on Zoom, we can share our screen. So if we're talking about scenarios, we're talking about your specific situation, we can share the screen so you can see what I'm seeing. You can see all of your numbers. We can talk about it specifically so that you know that what I'm telling you really is what I'm looking at. So it's just like being in the same room as with me or with one of my loan officers. So we can help you and share screens, and we can talk to each other, and you can see my screen. So yeah, we can do it on the phone. We can send you a link for a loan application, but we like to talk to each other. So let's talk to each other via Zoom. You know what? There's another question that somebody asked me the other day about financing homes in another state, which is in Utah, where I'm located, we are what's called a non-community property state. But there are states that are community property states, and what that means is all of the assets that you own are owned individually, are owned together. So if you're in a community property state like California or many other states, any asset that you own, or any income that you have is owned together. So in Utah, we're a non-community property state, and so if you buy a house, unless your spouse or significant other is on the is on that title with you, then they don't own it. They have no ownership within the house. That's not the same in a community property state. In a community property state, you own that asset together, even if one of you were not on the financing. So it's important to know that difference. And it's important that your loan officer for sure know that difference, because those loans are processed completely different, and the income documents that we need are completely different. So hopefully that helps you to, if no matter which type of property, which type of state you're in, we can help you either way. Anything else we got, Sydney?
All right. So another question we have is, are interest rates on the rise again?
Interest rates are a funny thing. So they have actually not been. So interest rates are just like stocks, and stocks, as you know, are traded on Wall Street, and interest rates we get our interest rates from mortgage-backed securities, which are traded on Wall Street, just like stocks and bonds. And so interest rates will rise and fall depending on how much interest there is in buying those mortgage-backed securities. So right now, interest rates seem to be pretty stable, but that doesn't mean that interest rates won't go up or won't go down. We've seen some just recently where interest rates have gone up pretty quickly, and then interest rates have fallen from there as well. So interest rates, they're not, I would say right now, if you ask me, are interest rates on the rise right now? No, they're not on the rise. They seem to be pretty stable, but tomorrow's another day. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? And it's a world economy. So not only are we get our rates from the U.S. stock markets, but we get them from the worldwide economy. So something could happen in another part of the world and could affect our interest rates here. So just any other questions that we have, Sydney?
Okay, let's see. So, is it just you, or do you have a team?
That's actually a great question. And the reason why that's a great question is because it's important to know that you're not working with one person. You don't want to work with, I hate to say names, so I'm not going to, but there's companies that say push button, get a mortgage. You probably know who that is. And if you call them, you never know who you're going to get. And so it's really frustrating to try to get a mortgage when you don't know who you're going to talk to. But it's also frustrating when you're working with somebody that it's just them and they do everything from start to finish. Because if they get more than a couple files going at a time, then your files fall behind and you miss your deadlines. So what's important with my team is, yes, I do have a team, and having that team behind me helps me get your loans closed much faster, because I'm really good at some things. And I can close your loan from start to finish, but there's parts of the process that, quite honestly, I'm not the best person to have. And you want somebody that's really good at processing your file. So I've hired people that are really great at the qualifications and getting your loan submitted and getting your loan processed for the underwriter. And they are really good at what they do. And that helps get your loan closed much faster. That doesn't mean that I don't know where your file is. You can always call me. You can call anybody on my team, and we have access to the same systems. So we're able to talk and answer your questions, whether you're talking to me or whether you're talking to somebody else. So know that even though I have a team behind you, I'm with you on your loan. And but having the team behind me helps get your loan closed so much faster without all the hiccups that I've heard so many horror stories about. Hopefully that answers your question. So do we have any others, Sydney?
Let's see. So we have, okay. How do I get pre-qualified, and can you pre-qualify on the phone?
Yes. So pre-qualification. So there's a difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval. So pre-qualification is, so first of all, can we do this over the phone? Yes, we can. You can call us. We can do that right over the phone and have you ready to go. And so pre-qualification is just basically getting some information from you. We do need to pull a credit report. We can, based on what you're telling us, get you qualified for a loan based on what you're telling us. So if you tell us, hey, I've got a 730 credit score or a 630 credit score, we can tell you what you qualify based on that. But that doesn't mean you're ready to buy a home. Without a credit report, we're kind of just shooting in the dark. So it's really important for us to have a credit report. So we'll need enough information to at least get a credit report in front of us so that when you are looking at a house that you're ready to go and it's something doesn't fall through last minute. So qualifying you on the phone just means I'm getting your information. I need to know where you work, what your income is, what kind of assets do you have? Do you have a down payment? Do you not have a down payment? Do we need to do a no down payment program? Which, by the way, we'll do that on another live another day. But so it's just some basic information, and then we get a credit report, and then we can get you pre-approved, and then to get your going from the pre-qualification to the pre-approval stage, we'll run it through an automated underwriting. So I'll actually have an underwriting approval for you. And then that really holds far more weight when you're trying to get an approved offer from the sellers that you're trying to buy a home. So hopefully that answers that question as well. Any other questions? Is that about it, Sydney? It looks like
I think that's all the questions that we have.
Cool.
For now,
all right.
Ron.
All right. Awesome. So thanks for tuning in to this live at 5. And we're going to do this again every single week. I'll be here to help you with your questions and have them ready. You know what? Don't wait to send them to us at the live on 5. Go ahead and shoot me a text or an email. I'm at 801-628-7667. And we'll get your questions answered no matter what state you live in. We will talk to you later.